Good morning, everybody, and thanks, Alan and William. I thought that by now you would be. Let me not complete my sentence. But I'm happy I'm here. I really must apologize for not being here yesterday. I was stuck up in the Caledon, and unfortunately, I couldn't fly. I had to fly very late last night, but very happy. Welcome, sir. Thanks. And I am not going to respond to Katharina's question because I want to celebrate the 30 years we are here. And not because I wouldn't be able to, but I think, let me not distract myself with William's questions. I will talk to William during pre-time and, and then try and clarify him on a number of issues. I think, Alan, we need to celebrate you. Please allow me to say so. I mean, we should give this man a big hand of applause. And I'm going to probably explain why. And a number of other people who are here who really have sticked it out in this journey, and a lot of you for the last close to 40 years, Mark and William and many others. And this is something that is worth celebrating. I thought that this is the reason why I need to come up and stand up here. I won't try and divert from that. Mike Jensen, and a number of other people, from this country, from other parts of the continent. So I thought I would do slides, but I realized that it's not possible for me to capture that in slides. I've written a little bit, so bear with me. I'll try and do it as quickly as possible. But I have some recommendations to put William at the end of this. Distinguished delegates, guests, ladies and gentlemen, and fellow guardians of Africa's digital and internet future. I stand here before you as a technologist and a South African who believes with every fiber in my being that this nation stands at a most consequential crossroad in its digital history. I'm convinced that the decisions we make in this country over the next few months or years and decades will determine whether South Africa architects its own digital future or becomes a passive consumer in the infrastructure designed and controlled by others. Allow me then to take you on a journey through time and explain how we arrived at this moment and why the decisions we as a country we make today will echo for generations to come. I'm going to start and talk about, by the way, this is in my LinkedIn page. If you want to access it, I've just put it in there now. I don't know if they will put, you can just take a picture of that, you will get this paper. You will find it basically. So before ICANN 1998's formation, a global group of practitioners, including some of the people in this room, and a number of others in the continent, right, prepared for a new era in the internet governance. As South Africa, we participated in INET in Malaysia before the formation of ICANN. Malaysia at the time was working on what is called or was called Cyberjaya Initiative. The internet community subsequent to Malaysia met in Cambridge. We set crafting the formation of ICANN in 1998. And these discussions laid that groundwork for ICANN's formation, the DNS ecosystem, When ICANN was finally established, the world saw the creation of regional registries, RIPE NCC for Europe, and ARIN for North America, APNIC, Asia, LACNIC, basically for Americas and the Caribbean. And these bodies became the custodians of internet address infrastructure. They were basically the very foundation upon which network connectivity today rests. But there was, at the time, conspicuous absence, namely a registry for Africa. At the time of ICANN's formation, no one in the continent or elsewhere was ready to invest hard capital to establish an African registry. And African addresses were managed by RIPE NCC on one side and ARIN on the other. A situation that was neither efficient or sustainable for our growing continent. The gentlemen here and women, together with others who were in government at the time, and engaged the then Department of Communication, recognizing the gap and that was taking place in the world at the time. Approach government to finance and assist in the funding for the establishment of AFRINIC. Sometimes this thing gets forgotten somewhere or it gets almost omitted, basically. It must be kept in mind that the funding was for an institution, basically, that would not rather be under the South African jurisdiction. And there was no mandate for the expenditure under, the existing state expenditure framework of the time. And the driving force was the understanding that Africa's digital future depends on having its own custodian of internet addresses. So we engaged ICANN directly and then agreed that South Africa could help fund the establishment of AFRINIC. The funds were transferred to CSIR, which was tasked with engaging both RIPE NCC and ARIN to transition Africa's address management to a continental body. AFRINIC was based at CSIR at the time. Those of us who canvassed for that funding for the establishment of AFRINIC believed, perhaps naively so, that AFRINIC would remain there or here, based in South Africa, given that our nation held approximately 70% of IP address allocation of the African continent at the time. Over time, some members from other regions of the African continent felt strongly that AFRINIC headquarters should be moved from South Africa to Mauritius. It was early 2000, prior this, period that South Africa had the honor of serving as the chair of GEG at the time of ICANN, a role that placed South Africa at the center of the negotiations at the time when bylaws were in their formative years. I think we were about 5 people in GEG. GEG has over 120 countries probably now. Given the effort that went to establish AFRINIC, we find ourselves at a really precarious juncture in what really has happened over the last, few years, I don't know whether few or many years, with legal battles that have frozen assets, paralyzed the board, and caused really significant reputational damage. And the lack of basically, a lot of things that disrupted the regional internet registry mission that was agreed upon at the time, affecting the effective distribution of IPv4 resources across basically the continent. South Africa and Egypt controlling almost 50% or more of IPv4 addresses, yet unable to contribute meaningfully, in a process that was happening in the courts of Mauritius. Neither there was a structure where such challenges really could be discussed and resolved. This has really been a pain to a number of people who were there to set up this very important institution. which unfortunately cause, serious reputation of this continent to a number of people of our community globally. So this history explains why South Africa, SADC, and Africa must establish a clear, unambiguous path, in my opinion, towards IPv6. Now is the time to pave the way for a clear IPv6 strategy, in my opinion. Over the past 3 decades, internet governance has faced its fair share of challenges. In 2012, in WISIT in Dubai, the multi-stakeholder internet governance model was under threat. Similarly, in 2014, when we were in Brazil, the model felt similar threats. We all have a responsibility to protect the founding principles of a multi-stakeholder governance model. Bifurcation and splitting the internet will not benefit humanity. More importantly, we must uphold the rights of global citizens online. As the contest for AI supremacy intensifies, we must be careful not to let a new battle in the world power competition be waged in terms of the way in which the internet is. Unfortunately, cyber warfare complicates the life of internet governance, or the life of the internet as we know it today. With this historical context in mind, consider the striking paradox that confronts us today, one that should trouble every one of us in this room, every network engineer, every entrepreneur, and every citizen who believes that technology is the great equalizer of our age. We are all mindful of the work still that we all need to do, connecting every village, classroom, clinic, police station. We still need to ensure that every older person can transact using digital wallet, mobile money, and every entrepreneur and trader can sell goods and services online. In my view, we need that central equipment identity registry to provide security and safety and trust online. South Africa ranks 7th in the world in terms of internet exchange traffic. It connects more than 10 submarine cables, thousands of ISPs, right? And in a liberalized environment, albeit what was discussed here, a lot needs to be done. More licenses, of course, need to be given. The market needs to be open, so that really we can all be able to provide internet freely and to everybody. Over 125 million mobile phones are in circulation in this country, and the country has just over 700 megawatts of data center capacity, making it Africa's most digital nation. Our constitution guarantees access to information, forming the foundation for digital economy. Internet penetration is at these high levels. Mobile money ecosystem boosting financial inclusion, right? However, South Africa aims to prepare for this agentic AI economy. Despite all of this, IPv6 adoption remains only at 3%. I repeat, 3%. Far below global average of 50%. This is a vulnerability as far as I am concerned. So, as we meet here this week, celebrating 30 years of this since June of 1996, my goodness. My argument today is simple, colleagues, and clear. We must implement IPv6 between 2026 and 2030 as a national imperative, integral to our economic sovereignty, national security, and our aspirations to lead the African continent into the digital future. Right? There is no other dimension to this story, one that is forward-looking. The revolution is unfolding in the skies above. Low Earth orbit, very low Earth orbit constellations are transforming global connectivity in the ways unimaginable. Just a decade ago, South Africa launched more than 7 satellites, including Sunsat, Subandila, ZA Cube 1 and 2, right, and a number of others. Globally, operators are launching thousands of satellites that will fundamentally and change the way we see connectivity. The critical point is that this new world runs on IPv6. Every device, sensor, satellite terminal, edge, node, etc. IPv4 addresses of 4.3 billion cannot support this new agentic ecosystem. So we really need colleagues to think strategically about this, in particular with what has happened in the last 7 years, as I've explained. The only way to cure that problem is for us to transition as quickly as possible. In October 2027, basically to November next year, ITU, basically in Shanghai, is making a decision on 6G and 6G surgeon. I mean, for us to enter 6G with still IPv4, for us to develop policies of AI with IPv4, it really is a contradiction in terms. So regional internet registry that manages IP address pools have been rapidly depleting them. I mean, most APNIC in Asia, basically, they ran out 2011, ARIN in 2015, RIPE in 2019, LACNIC for America 2020, right? I mean, we're near capacity. The question is, do we wait until this happens, or we build a strategy ourselves for really the implementation of this, and do it systematically, structurally, in a much more organized way? That is really my argument here. In practice, new organizations can't obtain IPv4 addresses from this global ecosystem. To expand, I mean, they must buy addresses in secondary markets, which we all know what this has created, which costs, I mean, almost $20 at some point, right? Now, my view, or else they use what I call, I mean, what we call network address, I mean, translation. I mean, and net allow for these multiple devices to share single IP addresses, keeping internet running, but also introducing complexity as we know it, on issues of security, latency, and operational cost. So, I mean, it's a debate that we have had for the last many years. I mean, that, you know, you can't compare these two. We can postpone this for the next 5 years if we want. We can postpone it for 10 years. But at some point, we here in this room, and all of us in the industry, we have to sit down and say, how do we implement this? My argument, the time is now. We cannot postpone this any further. So, in essence, what I'm saying is, there are countries that have done this, which we can, Malaysia, for instance, launched something called My IPv6 program in 2011. India, which is one of the largest democracies, also launched something to this extent. So before we enter a crisis, which already we have seen in the last few years, we are not going to cure IPv4, colleagues. We need to move on. We need to move on. That is the only route we have. I mean, you know, what has happened to us is a dent really that has cost us, I mean, a lot. I'm not going to go into what happened, who, when. We all know that history. But let us move forward. So you have the paper in front of you. I'm not going to go into it. But here is what I propose as a comprehensive, what I call national IPv6 development framework. First, I've been very sort of cautious in this, Alan, to say that we need to write the policy and give it to government to put it as a policy, this ourselves, all right? The Digital Council, ISPA, and a few other organizations. Let's sit together as the leadership, engage the community, write a paper, and table it, right? That's number one. Two, engage ICASA once that draft is... Now, somebody can argue that, why do you do that? Why don't you just do it? I will explain that the voluntary approach that we tried to do over the last 20 years, it had its own challenges. We sometimes are very good at fighting amongst each other. I mean, and we all know that. And myself and William, we've been doing this boxing ring, heavyweight and the lightweight for the last 40 years, all right? I mean, I'm still a heavyweight from you. So we then get, I mean, I'm just concluding now. So what I'm saying is that we get, sorry, I mean, the screen just froze. Forgive me. So we get ICASA to basically put something. The reason why I'm saying we use this, we want to enforce this timeline. I mean, if we do it voluntarily, I'm not sure it will work. I mean, there are people who have got big muscles who will kick this thing out, and if we want them all in, we need to put it in some bylaws of our nature, right? Third, a national IPv6 task force composed of yourselves, we must establish it. The body must bring together, the industry, academia, to drive the transition, including government and regulators. Remember, this is the internet. We participate as equals. I need to emphasize that. There is no hierarchy. This is not telecoms. This is the internet. It's a multi-stakeholder body where we operate as equals. By defining this role that they will do, it is not about a role that they do it because they somewhere belong in another tier, basically. We all operate as equals. But they have a role, and that role we need to be able to ask them to do. Fifth, I mean, this phase milestone, for instance, rollout to 2030. If we believe that we need to extend it to 2032, that's fine. But I'm saying we need to start at some point. I mean, otherwise, we do AI policy and all of those things in the foundation. 2030, I mean, there will be more AI agents online than us as humans. I mean, and therefore, we have to do this. And number 6, capacity building. I mean, that for instance. Seventh, I suggest here, I mean, you can shoot me down if you want, a national internet registry. This has been done elsewhere. Basically, we need to do this and control our destination. It's basically a body of yourselves and all of us. I mean, so this basically, NIR would be a national body to manage IP addresses allocation at the country level. These are IPv6. And for instance, under the AFRINIC, of course, don't get me wrong, but, I mean, Japan has done this, China has done this, Korea has done this, Vietnam has done this, India has done this. So this is not something undone. It helps us coordinate to make sure we must never again find ourselves in the situation that we were in. Even if we know that the number of IPv6 could run for the next 100 years. But we have to figure out how we manage this governance between, for instance, at a national level and at AFRINIC level. We cannot have a model, the one that has worked before. And the only way to correct that is to build national structures to be able to engage at AFRINIC level. Otherwise, if we do it the way we have done it in the past, I promise you, there will be another person from Hong Kong who will come and do worse than the way that has happened. So thank you, colleagues. Those are my takeaways, and you can see the paper. If you don't like what I say, please write to me and tell me, or basically, I don't want to take too much of your time, and I enjoy debate and dialogue, but let's do something. I mean, if we postpone IPv6, I don't know when will we do it. We have no time, in fact, in my opinion. Thank you, and enjoy your... Thank you.
Okay, thank you, everyone. I think we had a very stimulating first session. We are a bit early, but I think we can break now until the next session starts. Thank you, everyone.